first thing that comes to mind is a Thai curry. May it be yellow, may it be red, or may it be green. These flavors are sharp and so true to the essence that Thailand brings. However, there is one curry, though a lesser known evil. For me, that's one of my favorite curries, and that's the Thai Massaman Curry. It has an influence of the Muslim invaders into Thailand that brought about the spices and merged it with the true essence that Thailand brings. Pair this along with a heavily scented jasmine rice and you have a great meal to enjoy. While a Thai Massaman curry is always made with red meat, may it be mutton, may it be tenderloin, it works perfectly well with the flavors marrying into each other. In today's cooking, I'm going to be creating a Thai Massaman Tenderloin Curry, pairing it with a heavily scented jasmine rice, and the flavors of Thailand come wafting into my kitchen. Let's get to creating it. It's very evident that Thai food is one of my favorite go-to cuisines, and it happens so instantly because often you have all the spices readily available in your kitchen. However, with the store-bought variants readily available as well, this is like a last-minute reprieve for any cooking aficionado. So to start off, we're going to create the spice, but before that, I want you to hit on the bell icon and subscribe to my channel for many more of these to come. So into a cast iron goes about 30 mils of cooking oil, normal cooking oil. You can use sesame, you can use coconut, but normal cooking oil works well as well. Into that goes about 12 chilies. I'm using the dehydrated Kashmiri chilies and just allow them to bloom nicely. As we allow the chilies to sweat and stain the oil, in goes half a cup of roasted peanuts, and this is what works its magic into this creation, with about 2-inch quill of cinnamon, 8 cloves, 6 green cardamom pods, a dash of nutmeg, I say about half a teaspoon, 2 tablespoons of minced ginger, 12 cloves of garlic, 1 stalk of lemongrass, about half a cup of stalks of coriander leaves. So I'm just using the stalk out here, and 1 red onion, finely minced. Now you just saute all this together because you want it to cook but not cook too much. So just give it a quick stir, and this forms the basis of a great Thai Massaman curry. While I've sauteed this, because I like the rich flavor that it brings, you can just dry grind it all and cook it while creating the curry. So while this has sauteed, before you switch off the flame, in goes 1.5 teaspoons of roasted coriander powder, 3 teaspoons of roasted cumin powder, and about half a bunch of finely chopped coriander leaves. You put them in and switch off the flame. Stir it and get ready to blitz this. Creating the magic that this spice blend brings to this entire dish is the only difficult part of this entire creation. Now out here I've got a kg of tenderloin cut into cubes, and I'm going to dust it with about 5 tablespoons of corn flour, a generous sprinkling of some sea salt, and half a teaspoon of normal black pepper powder. A quick toss, and it's time to sear this. Into my large cast iron pot, in goes about 25 to 30 mils of cooking oil. And I'm not going to use toasted sesame oil out here. I'm going to use it right at the end to ensure the flavors are sharp and pronounced. And as that gets nice and hot, we're going to start searing the meat. So I'm just going to dunk in a kg and allow it to sear slowly. Tenderloin works well, it cooks really fast, and it's perfect for this dish. As the meat sears, in goes 250 grams of these gorgeous red pearl shallots and just allow it to saute along with the meat. While the tenderloin and the shallots have seared perfectly well, in goes this gorgeous spice blend. Now, cooking the spice blend in advance allows you to not cook it too much over here and just let the flavors merge and marry into each other. So a quick stir for a minute to a minute and a half is all that's required here. Now while we allow this to sear with each other and the spices marrying into the tenderloin and the shallots, now is the time to give it a splash of some dark soy sauce just to balance out the color in this thing. So about 15 to 20 mils, nothing more than that, and an overload of some fish sauce. So I'm not using shrimp paste out here because extremely allergic to shrimp and I can't afford to do that, but you can use some shrimp paste as well. So nearly 20 mils of fish sauce works its magic into this, along with finally a heaped tablespoon of some brown sugar, 1 stalk of lemongrass shriveled up and chopped, some lime leaves, Kaffir lime leaves, an overload of them. What's Thai food without bird-eye chilies? So 6 bird-eye chilies just roughly cut, and finally marrying everything together with about 300 mils of hot water or stock. A quick stir, and I love the color that this curry brings. Now is not the time to add coconut milk because you want the flavors to merge with each other and get right into it, and that's not going to happen if you add the coconut milk now. So there you have it, another food hack. As you allow this to come to a rapid boil, in goes about 500 grams of sweet potato, and I think sweet potato and tenderloin in a Massaman curry is sheer heavenly bliss. A quick stir, and finally a sprinkling of some sea salt, but don't hesitate to check because fish sauce as we know it is extremely salty. As this has come to a roaring boil and simmering away, in goes some tamarind paste. So nearly a heaped tablespoon of tamarind paste. And if you are tamarind obsessed like I am, just go ahead with another half more. I can have tamarind on anything, so as obsessed as I am, very rare to find. As you put this in, now is the time to add in some basil leaves. So just take some basil leaves, tear them into half, throw them in, and finally in goes 600 mils of coconut milk. Just pour that in and you allow the curry to work its magic, coming together in perfect harmony, but at the same time steeping to perfection and just cooking really well. Now as this hearty pot of goodness comes to a roaring boil, all I'm going to do is lower the flame, cook it covered for a good 20-25 minutes till the sweet potato and the tenderloin work its magic and cook at the same time. Now is the time to cook the rice, and it works really well as the curry is simmering on one side, you cook your fragrant jasmine rice on the other. Into a cast iron goes about 25 mils of cooking oil, just allow it to get nice and hot. While I want this to be a highly fragrant rice and lemon leaves work its magic, so about 8 lime leaves just roughly toned, you want that to sizzle, release its essential oils and just get your entire kitchen very amidst the heat of Thailand. In goes a tablespoon of some Thai ginger, along with 4 cloves of garlic finely minced, half a stalk of lemongrass, a quick stir, and it's time to take in 2.5 cups of jasmine rice and just saute it. Not too much because you don't want to break the grain. Now as the rice begins to get slightly opaque, it's time now to add in about half a bunch of spring onions cut into 1 centimeter roundels. Just give it a quick stir and it just breaks the monotony with bits of green here and there. So as this sautés, it's now time to take in 5 cups of hot water or stock and just add that in. Allow it to mix well and it's time to season and allow the rice to cook like any normal rice. A sprinkling of some sea salt, and you allow the rice to cook till it comes to the level of the water, and then lower the flame and cook it covered just so that it blooms. While the rice has met the level of water and they are both nearing the same, it's time now to lower the flame and cook this covered for about 10 minutes just so that the rice blooms and absorbs all the flavors within. 20 minutes of allowing everything to simmer into perfection. This gorgeous Massaman curry is ready. All it requires is a gentle stir for the flavors to marry into each other. And finally, you need to garnish it with a drizzle of some toasted sesame oil on top. Finely chopped cilantro leaves, so nearly about 3.5 to 4 tablespoons. Just go as overboard as possible, along with some toasted peanuts. This is ready. All you need to do is switch off the flame and this gorgeous curry is ready to be enjoyed. The same goes for the heavily scented jasmine rice. A quick toss just so that the rice grains bloom well. A fine drizzle of some toasted sesame oil just to give it that burst of flavor. And now you want to give it an overload of some finely shredded basil. So just garnish this, toss it, and your rice is ready as well. I hope you enjoyed creating this simple, stylish Thai Massaman curry. Though readily available store-bought spice blends are available, it is so easy to create at home. The spices are often readily available in most of our kitchens. Pair this either with some goat, some lamb or some tenderloin and have a decadent curry to pair along with your jasmine rice. While you can have your jasmine rice just steamed, it's always better to style it up with some lemongrass, some Kaffir lime leaves and some basil. Don't forget to share loads of love by hitting on the like button, and as always, don't forget to subscribe.